In the heart of Transylvania, where fog smothers the Carpathian peaks, a castle pierces the heavens like a spear of stone. This is the domain of Count Vlad Dracula. But long before he became the monster of whispered legends, Dracula was a man, a fierce ruler with a heart devoted to one soul, his wife, Lady Elena. She was the sun to his shadow, the melody to his rage. Her laughter filled the castle, and her love was his anchor through the blood and madness of war. But fate, as it often is, proved to be cruel. While Vlad fought invading armies on the border, a poisoned lie reached the castle. The Count is dead. Believing the news, Elena's world shattered. She stood on the castle balcony, the same one from which she and Vlad had dreamt of their future, and stared into the abyss. With a final prayer for her husband's soul, she stepped into the mist and was gone. When Vlad returned victorious, he found his home draped in mourning. He raced through the empty halls, his calls for Elena echoing unanswered, until he found her final note. "My heart cannot bear the world without you," it read. That night, the man Vlad Dracula died, and in his place, something else was born. Legends say he made a pact with darkness, trading his soul for an eternity to find her again. He swore he would not rest until he saw his Elena's face once more. For 400 years he searched. He crossed oceans and continents, his immortal heart aching with a grief that time could not heal. He saw empires rise and fall, the world changing around him, but every face he looked upon was not hers. He was a creature of eternal night, cursed to live without his light. Then, one stormy evening, a visitor arrived, an English historian named Dr. Lydia Harcourt, drawn to Transylvania by her research. As she explored the castle, one portrait stopped her in her tracks. A woman in a crimson gown, her face hauntingly familiar. It was Lady Elena Petrescu, and she looked exactly like Lydia. From the shadows, a deep, ancient voice spoke. "You should not be here." A tall figure emerged, his eyes like burning coals, his sorrow a palpable force. It was the Count. "You wear her face," he murmured, his voice a mix of longing and despair. Lydia felt a strange pull, a flicker of a memory not her own, standing on a balcony, the wind in her hair, the sound of distant war horns. As days turned into nights, the castle's secrets began to unravel, and so did Lydia's. She realized she wasn't just a visitor, she was a returning soul. She found Dracula in the chapel, kneeling before Elena's tomb. "I remember," she told him. The centuries of grief in his eyes gave way to fragile hope. "Elena?" "Yes," she whispered, "but I am not yours to claim. Love that defies death becomes a prison." She placed her hand on his cold chest. "Let it end, my love. Let us rest." For the first time in centuries, Dracula felt something truly human. As the first rays of dawn pierced the gloom, he stepped into the light. His form dissolved into ash, his final word a whisper, "Forever." The curse was broken. The castle crumbled, but the story lived on. Travelers now speak of two figures seen walking hand in hand along the cliffs, a man in black and a woman in crimson, finally at peace. Because true love cannot be ended by death. It can only change its form. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into myth and romance. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the shadows. Until next time, stay curious.